Well, check out these pictures. Rick Caruso is just back from the Vatican, where he and his family met with Pope Francis to talk about charity work in L.A. Caruso is a practicing Catholic. He helped build the Caruso Catholic Center at USC. It's a huge part of his life. Rick Caruso, welcome back to The Issue Is.
Good seeing you.
What was that like?
It was pretty amazing. You know, of all the people I'd like to meet around the world, he was probably 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think he's just a remarkable human being in terms of what he stands for. We were invited there. It was an incredible honor. I was very humbled by it. And it was great to talk about Los Angeles with him. And he knows a lot about Los Angeles, which was great.
And your message was about a lot of the charity work you do, Para los Ninos, Operation Progress.
Right.
And you brought artwork from a kid that you've helped to mentor. We've got a picture of this piece of art that we want to show. What was the story there, and what did you tell him about it?
So I still get chills thinking about this, to be honest. This young student is a 4th grader at Para los Ninos, sort of came from Skid Row and then into the school. And the picture and the story is about the change of his life and the opportunity that's been given him, and now his future forward and how grateful he is. And the Holy Father was just mesmerized by it. And so it was really neat. His emissary is actually coming out in a few weeks, and we're going to go down to Para los Ninos so they can see it for themselves.
Oh, and let's talk, people, real briefly on what Para los Ninos and Operation Progress is for people that may not be familiar with the work.
So all the students, the families that are on Para los Ninos, the school that Tina and I have supported for over 30 years is literally right in the middle of Skid Row. And every one of those families are at or below the poverty line. They're all working, but they're working poor. Many of the families, 4 or 5, living together in an apartment. Those kids go to school free of charge. And it is really the opportunity that changes their life. Operation Progress is down in South LA, in part of the Watts area. And that's where we take children that are coming out of the housing projects, Nickerson Gardens, for example. We team them up with a police officer, LAPD. They're their mentor. And then Operation Progress, with our support and others, takes care of those kids from a scholarship education standpoint from 3rd grade all the way through college, and we've had about 300 students go through there.
And we've met them and been out there with you, and it really is an incredible thing. I was thinking about you, what meeting the Pope must have felt like for you, because your grandfather came here from Italy with nothing, serious Catholic. Your family is very serious about this. You meet with a priest every week, right, for dinner.
Right, our pastor.
Were you thinking of your grandfather and that journey, and now his grandson is invited to the Vatican with the Pope?
Well, I was. It's a bit overwhelming, and I think whether you're Catholic or you're not, to meet this man, because of who he is, he's not, in my opinion, not just the Pope. And I was thinking of my grandparents and what they had to do, and being poor and coming to this country. Like Francis is. Pope Francis was very poor family, did not want to be the Pope, right? And is working so hard every day to change the direction of the church. And this is why I like him so much, to make it more welcoming, to make it more accepting, to have people come in and feel good. And he joked, my son Alex was holding his book, and he looked at Alex and he said, "Oh, you must be a rebel also, like me." You know, because he views himself as being a rebel and really fighting the old ways.
What did it mean for you to be able to introduce your kids to the Pope?
Tough, very emotional. You know me, I'm a crybaby. I was doing great until I started introducing the kids. And then I got choked up, and he grabbed my arm, and we just had sort of that moment together. He is a very kind, dear man. I know. Gianna, as we left, really wrapped it up well. She said, "I just wanted to hug him." He has a kindness and a dearness to him, a strength, no doubt, but a kindness and a dearness to him. And his message, I said, "How do you manage everything that's coming at you? And how do you prioritize in all this?" He said, "It's all about humor." He goes, "My daily prayer every morning," and he gave us a copy of the prayer, is praying to have humor in my life. And he looked at the kids and he said, "You can accomplish anything as long as you have a good sense of humor and have joy in your life." Wow. And I just thought that was so powerful, because it's not what I expected for him to say. I thought maybe he'd say discernment and deep prayer, and He said, enjoy life, have humor. You can accomplish everything.
How profound that is.
Yeah.
Wow. And real quickly, I know this is something else you're passionate about. We got the homeless count this week in Los Angeles. It showed the numbers are up. This was a count done in January, right after Karen Bass took over. Your take on where things are at right now and what more needs to be done, because clearly not enough is being done. We spent billions and the problem's getting worse.
Right. Crisis is growing on the street. We need to say it. Mental health crisis on the street is growing. The drug addiction on the street is growing. I saw some recent pictures today of what's happening. We have to build housing. You can't solve this problem unless you're building permanent, sustainable housing to get people off the streets and wrap it around with services. We know the solution. It's out there. Buckle down, speed up, get it done.
There you go. Rick Caruso, great to see you.
Thank
what a
you.
week for you.
It was a great week.
Thanks for coming in.